Hi, my name is Latina Marie. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. As you guys saw by the title, this video is just going to be a chit chat of me talking to you guys about when I started singing and how I knew and when I knew that it was a passion for me. I posted here on YouTube in the community tab about doing more story time type videos. I wouldn't say this is a story time, but if you want to consider that, then it is what it is. But I asked if you guys would be more interested in seeing things like that, and if you had any ideas or any topics that you wanted me to talk about, please feel free to leave them in either in the community tab or in the comment section. I really am interested in doing these types of videos. I had been getting a lot of people telling me in person and here online that I should do more videos like this. So here is kind of not the start, because I clearly have videos where I just sit down and talk, but this is the first of I guess like a schedule of doing it, or more like consistency of doing it. So I would have posted about 2 or 3 days ago, but of course you guys know what was going on with my eye. I couldn't put on makeup, and yeah, I could have did the video without it, but I just didn't feel comfortable. So now we're here and I'm super excited, and I don't want the video to be too long, but I want to kind of give as much detail and information as possible, because I know that when people are watching videos like my Vegas videos, when I'm talking, you guys are very interested in the information that I had to give. And so I want to make sure that I'm kind of doing the same thing here. So let's get right into it. So I started singing at a very young age. When people normally ask, I just tell them I've been singing all my life, because it really has been my entire life that I've been singing. I've been in love with music for as long as I can remember. I'm not going to be cliche or corny and say that I was singing before I was talking, but I just have been singing forever. I don't really know when I started singing for people, because I know that I was really shy for a really long time, and I think my parents were really the only ones who knew that I liked to sing, or that I could sing, or that it was something that I was even doing. But I want to say around maybe 7, 8 years old is when people started knowing that I could sing. It was something that I was doing. My sister and I had did a modeling competition, and we were a part of this, I don't know what it was. I want to say it was an agency. We were a part of this agency, and you know how they ask if you have any other talents and stuff. And around this time, I would say that she was about 9 or 10. I was probably 8 or 9, so because we're about a year apart. So around that time, I think I was starting to have people discover that that was something that I could do. But I just remember at a very young age, I was very shy. I didn't want people. I was insecure, I guess, when you really think about it. I was insecure. I didn't think people were going to like my voice, even though I love to sing, and I thought that I just was really good. I didn't think anybody else was going to think that way. One song in particular that I always sang was Deborah Cox, Nobody's Supposed to Be Here. That was something that if people asked to hear me sing, was a song that I sang. I was very much into Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston. Just, you know, the very powerful singers, Aretha Franklin. Just, I think it was when, like, early elementary, that I knew this was something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I'll say like 5th grade is when I knew for sure this was what I wanted to do in my life. When I was very young, I have an older brother and a younger brother. They weren't in a singing group. My dad put them in a singing group that he managed, and that was for about 14 years of my life. They were in a boy band with friends of theirs, and we did a lot of traveling for them to do shows and promotion and meeting with people and things like that. When I was in middle school, I want to say 6th or 7th grade, I myself and my sister joined a girl group that my dad had started managing, and I don't know what it was, but around this time of my life, I found this confidence and this just not so shy about singing anymore. I wasn't in the group at the time. My sister and I weren't in the group. It was 3 girls who had come to my dad because they knew about him managing my brother's group, and they were really known around our city. And so these girls came to my dad to be managed, and I remember they were practicing one day, and I came down, and I don't know if they had talked about getting more girls in their group, but I came down to their practice, and I don't know how this happened. Like, I can't really tell you or pinpoint exactly what was said or what happened, but I just know that I kind of interrupted their practice and started singing, and the next thing I know, I was in the group. Me and my sister were in the group with them, and we did this for, I want to say the 5 of us were together for about 1.5 years, and then the 2 girls that came with one of the girls decided to quit. I don't know exactly what happened, but, you know, just girls, honestly, working with 5 girls can be a hectic thing. And so that kind of took a toll on the group, and these 2 girls decided to part ways from the group, and us 3 continued the group for a while. And again, we did a lot of traveling. I think my freshman year in so if we started this in 7th grade, I know my freshman year in high school, part of my sophomore year in high school, we were still together. So that tells you how long we were together. So my freshman year in high school, I spent a lot of time in New York for maybe auditions or meetings, or just going and seeing what we could do. Like, it was the most amazing experience of my life. That year is something that I will never ever forget. The traveling, like, I know that a lot of musicians talk about how hard it can be on you and how draining it can be, and like how you miss family and things like that. And I don't know if because my family was a big part of what was going on with me in my life at that time, I just didn't feel it that way. Like, I would watch interviews after interviews after interviews after interviews of different musicians, and I'd hear them say that stuff, and it wasn't out of unappreciating the life that they were given or had, or the opportunities that they had, or anything like that. And I did understand that. But I also felt like this was my favorite part, like getting in the car and driving for hours, because we never flew anywhere. I had never been on a plane until about 1.5 years ago. So we drove everywhere, anywhere that we went, driving to Miami, driving to New York, driving to Pennsylvania, driving everywhere for any and everything, and different shows, different auditions, different meetings, just all these type of things. So I think, again, it was about 5th grade that I knew this was something that I wanted to do. Although in 5th grade, and I'm kind of jumping all over the place, and I apologize. In 5th grade, I'm saying because that's just the easiest timeline for me to go by. So in 5th grade, I didn't get to travel with my family a lot when they were traveling with my brothers. Me and my sister kind of stayed behind a lot more. We stayed with my grandmother, and so we didn't get to experience that stuff then. And so, but that's how I knew this was what I wanted. Like, yeah, it sounds like I just wanted to travel and stuff, but really it was knowing what they were going and doing. It was knowing what was to come, or what could come of what they were going and doing. So when I finally got and it wasn't that I had never traveled with them, it just wasn't as much. So when I got the chance to do it as much, I knew right away that just even if the answers were no, or we got passed up on, or whatever the situation may be, even if we put so much money into getting where we were trying to go for whatever we were trying to do, even if it didn't work out the way that we wanted it to, for me, I felt like this is what I need. This is what I want. This is what I am striving for. And it kind of feels the same like when I'm posting my music and stuff, and it may not turn out the way that I thought it would, or, you know, I'm not getting the views that I thought I would, or I'm not getting the response that I thought I would. It does tear me down a little bit, because this is a passion of mine. This is something that I have worked so hard for a really long time. Like I said, I've been singing for all my life, and I probably knew that it was a passion before the time that I'm telling you, but I just probably, like, as a kid, didn't know that that's what it was. I would put on little concerts for my dad, and any chance that I had, I was singing. And you know, I would go on auditions and stuff. I auditioned for American Idol Junior because around the time I was a kid, and we traveled to Tennessee for that. It's just a lot. It's just, I mean, it's so hard to put into words the experience that honestly, my parents gave me. You know, I just, you know, dressing the part and becoming, like, honestly, a different person, because when you step on stage, it's just definitely not the same as it is when you are writing a song, or, you know, recording a song or anything like that. I mean, those are fun things too, but when you are getting to share that with someone and see their reaction, like, honestly be there and see their reaction, it's just completely different than knowing that people are gonna love it because you think it's cool. But so it was maybe my sophomore year, mid-sophomore year, something like that, that our girl group was no longer together. And you know, just things weren't working out, again, being girls and just having different opinions and things like that. It can wear on you, and it can tear things apart. I think after we broke up, I didn't immediately start doing things on my own, but I do remember one particular thing. My brothers were still in their group, and they had a show in Muskegon area. If you live in Michigan, you know where that is. And I remember that whatever it was, wherever we were, they were asking people if they want to come on stage and sing. And I was like, sure, why not? I didn't have anything prepared or anything like that, but my dad actually was like, you should do it, because we had a conversation about me going solo and performing by myself, which I had never done. And so he thought it would be a good idea for me to go ahead and do that and see if this was something that I still was interested in, and did I really want to be a solo act. And it was the scariest thing I had ever done in my entire life. And to this day, I remember it was so scary for me, but it was so invigorating. It was so, like, just amazing to hear the response. Of course, I did a cover. I think it was a Mariah Carey cover. And just to hear people be wowed by me and be surprised by me, and to feel like, you know, to give them a certain feeling from my voice, just was like, yes, this is really what I want to do. Even if every performance isn't like this, or even if I, you know, don't get as far with it as I thought I would or want to, this is something that I still really want to work so hard for. So I had been singing and doing, you know, as much as I could with my situation. up until graduating high school. And then for some reason I stopped. I stopped singing, and I had a lot of focus on the wrong things. I went to hair school. Like, it was a random time in my life. I was really focused on guys, which I shouldn't have been. I feel like they took up a lot of my time. You know, I listened to a lot of lies of being loved and being cared about, and I let that distract me so much. I just let a lot of things consume my energy and my time and my focus of what I knew that I really wanted. And it always, in the back of my mind and deep down in my heart, I knew that music was what I wanted and I was missing, because I always felt like I was missing something in my life and I just couldn't figure it out. And you know, now looking back, I know that that's what it was. So I didn't even finish hair school because a guy got in the way of that too. So it was like I let so many things distract me from what it was that I wanted to do. So I stopped going to hair school. I started working odd jobs, and again, being involved with guys and just trying to figure it out. Honestly, I was trying to figure it out. I think at this time I started feeling like it wasn't going to happen for me anyway, so I stopped putting in effort for it. I don't know why I've started feeling that way. I don't know where that came from. I don't know what made me think that. Nobody said anything to me that would make me think that. I think I knew that I had put off so much time on working on what my craft and my passion that I felt that it was too late for me. So fast forward to probably about a year after stopping going to cosmetology school. So around this time, I'm like 20 years old. And I meet my husband. And for some reason, like, meeting him, I didn't let him be a distraction to me. By this time, I had gotten pregnant and I had a miscarriage, not by my husband. And after that happened, I broke up with that guy, and I told myself I was going to start focusing on myself. And that never in that did I think that I was going to start going back to music. I was always singing. Let's make that clear. I was always singing. There was never a day that I didn't sit in my car and belt as much as I could. Like, I was always singing. When things got hard, I turned to music. When I was happy, I turned on music. It was always there, but it was never a main focus like it had been at one point in my life. So when I met my husband, just something in me clicked that I was like, I can't not do this. Like, I can't not keep going with the gift that God gave me. Like, I know this was a gift that God gave me. Whether it's my purpose or not, it is a gift that I have, and I love it. It's a passion of mine. It makes me happy. So I started singing again. And when we got married, I told myself that no matter what, I was going to go all in. Like, I had to go all in. When we got married, we had already had 3 of our kids. And even though I was feeling like it's never going to happen, I'm a mom, I've gained so much weight, I'm looking older, like, who's going to want to hear music from me? Like, that's the kind of thoughts that would run through my mind all the time. And I just I'm a little fuzzy. I just remember talking to him and telling him this was what I wanted to do. And my husband is so, like, he's like so protective of our family and wants to make sure that financially we're okay. And he just didn't see it in our budget to do the things that I felt I needed to do in order to get where I thought I needed to be. And that's not to say that he's not supportive or he didn't you know, support my decision to get back into music the way that I wanted to. It wasn't anything like that. It's just he grew up very differently than I did. And so, you know, it was a hesitation for him. And if you've seen my Why We Moved Back from Las Vegas video, you'll completely understand what I'm talking about. So if you haven't seen that, go check that out. I talk a little bit about how he is and how he feels about taking risk and things like that. So I told myself that I needed to do this, and I knew that I would hate myself if I let myself just be a mom and a wife and never go back to the thing that I love the most. You know, yes, my kids come first, my husband comes first, but this is a passion. This is something that I just can't let go of. And the fact that I knew that I couldn't let go of it meant something to me. It meant that I needed to do something about it. And so, you know, ever since 2014, 15, around that time, I've been going really, really hard for my music and my career and entertainment period, because I do realize that I'm just a lover of doing entertainment. I did plays in high school, so I love doing acting and things like that. So really it's like an entertainment thing for me, but my music is like number one. So when we moved out to Vegas, I did a lot of open mic nights. I did as much connecting as I could. I tried to get involved in things as much as possible. Like I really tried to make sure that I took advantage of being in Las Vegas as much as I could. I will say that there's definitely so much more that I could have done. Being a mom and a wife and our situation did make it kind of hard for me to do everything and be 100% with it like I should have or wanted to. But, you know, I don't feel like I went out there and wasted time. So that's the most important thing. So since I've been back here, things have been a little more difficult. I'll be completely honest. It has been a little more difficult for the simple fact that financially things have been crazy, and then 2020 has just been absolutely nuts. But it also has been a benefit, all of this stuff going on, because, you know, I've been able to sit at home and I've been homeschooling like I wanted to, which has always been, you know, a goal of mine to homeschool my kids. So I've been able to do that. My day is a lot more open, but honestly, I'm blocked right now. Like I am just creatively blocked with YouTube, my music, everything. And it sucks because I do have so much free time right now that I should be putting out as much content as possible, but it's just been such a struggle. And not to mention like having space, you know. I've been recording in my garage, and that's cool and all, but it's like I fear that my stuff is gonna get stolen. So like I'm trying to be out there all night, all day, like just trying to keep an eye on it. But I keep God at the forefront of everything that I do, so I know that if I'm not supposed to be doing this, there's nothing I can do about it anyway, you know. But just like that, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I'm in my laundry room now. I'm trying to figure out things for filming and for recording and all of that. And so it's as much of a struggle as it is still fun for me. Like, I don't know if I'll record in here again or film in here again, because I can hear water and stuff going, because I'm like right next to my washer and dryer, which I didn't even consider that it would be making this much noise. So I apologize if you guys can hear that in the back, but yeah. So I hope that I gave some information, some understanding on me and my passion for music, and I hope that you guys can understand why I'm doing it. I mean, if you have the same questions that I had, why would I do this now? I'm 30 years old and it's too late for me, you know, thinking those things. But then I have to remember there's people like 2 Chainz who didn't start until he was 30 or 30 plus or something like that. And there are tons of people coming out right now who are older than me, the same age as me, a couple years younger than me, and they're doing it, so I can too. And I feel like the reason that I'm not where I want to be is because of me, and I just have to make sure that I'm making the proper time and the proper moves for what I want to do, you know. And to be honest, I am still scared. I'm still insecure. I still feel like people aren't interested. And really quick story. So I had posted my why I moved back from Las Vegas video, and I also posted me doing my makeup for that video. And prior to that, I had been posting some music and stuff, and it had all been going pretty well. Like, everything had been doing pretty good. And someone commented and on the video that I did after the talking video about Las Vegas and moving back here. Oh, my lips. And you know, she wasn't trying to be rude or anything, but she said that she noticed that my videos of me talking about things seemed to do better than all of my other videos, which she was absolutely correct. Which I had known that, which is why I had been thinking about doing more videos like this. I just don't know what to talk about. And I had mentioned that to her. I was just like, I don't know what to talk about. So that's why I haven't moved forward with that. And so, in the midst of conversating with her and kind of thinking about where I want this channel to go or what I want to do, what kind of things that I want to post, I had started thinking that music just wasn't for me anymore. Like, I started thinking that, yeah, I can make music and I can probably release it and whatnot, but I just need to stop trying to make this my career. Like, that's really what I started thinking. And so then as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I posted in the community tab that I basically needed or wanted suggestions of what I should talk about. And this is what somebody asked for. And it just reconfirmed everything for me, that there's one person, and that is all I need. One person to be interested in what I'm doing. You know, my husband and I have a YouTube channel where we have 12,000 subscribers, and I find myself always comparing this channel to that channel. And I have to keep telling myself, this is not that channel. You know, things are not the same. People who are subscribed to that channel are subscribed to that channel for a reason. That wasn't an easy process for us, is what I'm trying to say. And I know that it wasn't an easy process for us. And I have to keep reminding myself that it wasn't an easy process and it wasn't an overnight success process, you know, because I feel like that channel is very successful. We are where we are on there, but you know, and I find myself comparing myself to that channel all the time, and it discourages me a lot. But honestly, I have music on that channel and it's doing really good. But is that because there's more subscribers over there? Maybe. I just have to be patient with this. And I think the older I get, the less patience I have for feeling like it's going to be okay and it's going to work out. But the fact that someone wanted to know this stuff from me just makes me feel like it is going to happen. It's just going to take time. As long as I put in the work, the rewards will come. So I said I didn't want this video to be too long, and I ended up just blabbing like I always do. So I'm going to end it here. I hope for the person who did request that this is what I talk about, thank you so much. And I hope that I did, answer your question. It all started very young for me. I knew at a very young age that this was what I wanted to do. I just didn't see it through like I should have. And again, I'm the reason I'm not where I want to be. And I can't blame anybody for that but me. So just just keep that in mind. If this is something that you want to do, or if there's anything you want to do, know and look and pay attention to what it is you're doing for that. Are you putting in the work that you need for it? Because it really does come down to you. The views, the likes, none of that matters if you're not putting in the work, you know? So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that button. I love you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.